Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
Hey. Wasn't even going to do this today, and then I realized I should have to do something. Drew's flying, so just me. Scott Newman asks, is that thumbnail a bike bridge in Iowa? My memory is so bad, I can't even remember what the thumbnail looks like that I made a couple hours ago. So, sure. Just, there's a million thumbnail like templates in Canva. I just pick one every day and just add our name to it. Not 100% sure what we're going to gamble on today, because Drew handles most of the NBA action. I don't know. I'm looking into. I asked a question in earnest in the NBA chat. Haven't got an answer. Got one cry laughing emoji, I guess. Which those are good too if you live for the dopamine of getting some emoji reactions in the group chat. But Scott Foster. I'm not sure what the referee assignments are for tonight, and this is the perfect extender spot for an extremely popular national, public team in the Lakers down 3-1 at home. But Scott Foster, the extender, has an injury. He blew up his calf. I don't know if he's good to go or not. I don't have an answer on that, so we will wait to take the +6 with Minnesota on that. And honestly, if he's in or something, or if it really looks like the Lakers are going to win, I might just take the Lakers over team total. No opinion on the other one. Golden State, Houston, you can have that series. It's been fun, but I can't tell you what's going to happen. I hope my poor Timberwolves can close it out. But Game 6, I think Game 6 would be at home. Is it 2-2-1-1-1? Boy, this would be a great spot for Drew to interject and let me know. Anybody in the chat, feel free to let me know. Anybody in the chat has a question, topic, thing they want to bet on, by all means, step in. Because basically my whole day is just going to be finishing up some golf stuff. Ron Mexico says 2-2-1 /1-1. I think that might be a typo. But yeah, so Game 6 back at the Target Center regardless, because the Lakers certainly can't win it in 5. So, hopefully they're just prepping for the Golden State series at that point. We get this nasty Lakers team out of here. NHL, my poor Wild lost a lot of overtime games. Carolina went double overtime, but poor Wild put up a good fight against Vegas. Couldn't get it done. I think that's 3-2 now, so that'll be a big game. I don't even know when they play next. Ooh, a reasonable. Oh, it's at home. It's in Minnesota. So Thursday night, 6:30. It's a reasonable time. I might watch some hockey. All NBA is 2-2-1-1-1. I feel like I probably have this conversation with Drew every April, because I still get in my head that they used to have the 5-game series. Do you remember the 5-game series where I believe it was just the first round of the NBA playoffs was 5 games? Am I Berenstein bearing that? Is that a Streisand thing? Did I make that up? Swear to God, there were 5-game series and it sucked. It wasn't good, but I don't know. Well, I thought there was a 2-2-2-1. I don't think there was a 2-3-2. I thought it was 2-2-2-1, where you did 2 games, 2 games, 2 games, and then the final game was again. Well, that wouldn't make any goddamn sense, because then the final game would be at the away team. Fuck, I don't know, man. I used to watch. I just want to watch some football. I just want to watch some. Honestly, I want to watch some horse racing this weekend. I'm pretty jacked for that. If you missed that yesterday, I'm almost gonna have to dig into my text with Drew on this one. Mike Somich, 1:30 p.m. Central Time, mañana. We will not do a daily show tomorrow, because it would be 3 hours before we're going to go live with Mike. So no daily show, no daily pod tomorrow. We'll just do honestly, if he gives us an hour and a half, we'll take an hour and a half. I will take as much of his time as he will give us. We'll ask him before if he has any hard outs because I'm going to try to get a ton of info on the undercard and stuff. The NBA Finals used to have a different schedule. Maybe that's right. Yeah, people are saying MLB used to do 2-3-2. Yeah, because baseball's so hard on your body. You know, those guys really have to ice up after standing in left field for 2 hours. Oh, yeah, get your notepads ready for tomorrow. Giorgio, our favorite Floridian Italian, says he likes Milan, Inter Milan, +1 or +0.5. Barca, priced a little high today. For golf, it's a funny one. Golf's a variance week, and golf, every week's a variance week for golf, I believe. I'll get to the Clippers. I'll give you some hopium, although I think that would be another Drew kind of, another good one for Drew because he does have a high rating on the Clippers. But when golf is hard and the course is hard, the best golfers shine through because the shit golfers, the mid golfers, and everyone else just can't take their game to that level to beat a hard course. That's why Rory wins Augusta. That's why Rory won the Players. That's why Scotty won, the Masters last year. It's Rahm the year before. Like, it's hard to get, a wild name at the top of a leaderboard when the course is very difficult. That lends itself to good golfers playing good golf and beating the bad golfers. We're not at a tough course. TPC Craig Ranch increased the length of the rough. They increased the length of the course. They did a couple other things to make it tougher. It's still going to be so easy. It's still going to be such an easy course. It's still going to be very low scoring. And other than Scotty, like we said, I think there's one other top 50 golfer. So we talked about this yesterday with Noonan. Just a perfect week to take a bunch of 100-1, 200-1, 300-1 shots, maybe each ways if you got some of that action or some, some top 10, top 20s. If you don't like the feeling of a guy almost getting home, nobody likes that feeling. I guess if you can't stomach your outright being in the mix on Sunday and not getting anything out of it. But I mean, that's just a bunch of extra outlay too. And, then you're actually risking quite a bit more. It's like when people do Dutching math and they don't realize they're actually betting 2 units to win 1 at some point. So, yeah, Patrick, sounds like a Thor week for me. I'm finalizing my card right now, but I made a model over on the on the BetSports Golf Rabbit Hole last year where I looked at just birdie or better rates and a bunch of different splits. I filtered by, birdie or better rates for the last couple of years on long courses because this is a long course. How have you been scoring when it's long courses? How have you been scoring when the conditions are easy? How have you been scoring when the fields are weak? In weak fields, how much better are you than the shitty field at birdies or better rate? So I made an extreme birdie or better rate model, and it's not the same as just building a model with a bunch of normal SG strokes gain data where Scotty Scheffler's going to be at the top. You get all kind of wild names in there. So a lot of these wild names that showed up in that one, I started cross-referencing it with my normal golf model for the week. And anybody who is even like remotely, top 50 in that one that showed up in the top 10, I'm just going to have a punt on. So, I mean, spoiler alert if you read the newsletter that's going to go out here in a few, but Harry Hall, 100-1. Big hitter, birdie or better rate, great. He's going to be fine. Gary Woodland, playing better golf, 100-1. Gary Woodland's he's won some big tournaments, guys. Gary Woodland's 100-1. I know he had some brain surgery and he had some time off, but he's 100-1. Matty Schmid, the German, he showed up super high in in the one model. Where was it? The birdie or better rate model. He was third in that, and he still showed up. He was top 12 in the other one. He's a little weak on approach, but he was another one where I looked at putting on the surface over the last 12 months. He's a top 5 putter. Like it's nice to have spike putting, but it's also sometimes nice just to have a guy who always putts well. And he's a huge number. Matty Schmid was, God, honestly, I think I do my shopping for the most part. Bookmaker, BetOnline, Bovada. I don't have the legals, buddies. Just not an option for me unless I drive down to Iowa. So I'm shopping at those three. I think 90% of the bets I'm making are at BetOnline this week. Like just every one of these long shots, they have the best numbers. So shout out to them. Where did I leave off there? Now I can't even find the tab where I have the guys. Carson Young, 225 to 1. It's another guy that showed up super high in the birdie or better model. He was fine in all the other stuff. He's a nice long shot. And then the coup de grace, my Venezuelan Frankenstein, the big monster, the big hitter, Johnny Vegas, Johnny with a JH, 275 to 1. Again, over there on BetOnline. Kind of a no-brainer. I guess you'll have to talk me into Thor. Not really. Like that's Noonan's all over that guy all the time. So Theodor Bjornsson, I'd have to go check what his price was. I don't know how big it was. 80 to 100, I suppose. Looks like he's 80 on 77 on Bookmaker. So maybe a little better on BetOnline. I got off the page on that. Jake Knapp, yeah, I can't add everybody. He's another one too where big hitter. He didn't show up as well in the birdie or better model. He was like 23rd for me when I was ranking him there. And then my normal model, he was a little further down just because of his par fives birdie or betters rate and his approach game. Big hitter, but the approach game isn't as good as some of the other golfers that I bet ahead of him. Because while, distance is nice here, you've seen guys who have had, really nice weeks down here who have been, not terribly long off the tee, but accurate, putting themselves in great position to hit off the short stuff, and they have good long iron games because a lot of, despite it being very easy to hit these greens and to hold these greens, a lot of these second shots are going to be pretty long. There's going to be quite a few long iron shots. So guys who are better at approach and better at long irons are going to be at a premium here too. And I don't know if I can get behind Jake Knapp when I have, I already have 8 guys on the card at this point. I'm trying to trim down. I did bet Ben Griffin. He won last week. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, 50 to 1. He's that good of a golfer. I missed it. It's funny. It's going to be funny when I bet him like 30 times this year. And the one week I don't bet him was last week when he won. It's the team event. That's going to hurt right here in my heart. And then Jacob Bridgman, 50 to 1. I call it a shorter price, but I mean, can you imagine hitting 50 to 1 on anything today? It feels like it's a short price at a course like this. But when I ran the birdie or better model for him, he was 4th. He was ahead of, quite a few names there. And then when I looked at my normal stuff for the week, he was getting drugged down a little by his driving distance, not as long. He's middle of the pack there. But again, the birdie or better rate, the putting was good. And his approach was good enough. So I bet him at 50 to 1. And if I find Theodor Bjornsson at 100, I'll probably just take that. I should pull the betting board back up at my guys here, BetOnline. God, just every long shot was like all the other books. It's like 150, 180, and then you go over there, it's 225. Makes a difference. Make sure you're shopping, even if these are not big bets. This is a smaller outlay kind of week because of the the nature of how big the card is. But Scotty's 3 to 1. It's going to afford you some good prices. 90 to 1 at BetOnline. I'll take it. I'll go there. Jesse Smith says, Andy, give us Clippers backers some hopium. I mean, better team, better coach. Bad luck. Not bad luck. Just bad game. Just a bad game defensively. I didn't catch all of it, but you can't. I don't know. You can't start like that offensively. You can't be down 12 going into the second quarter. Like, no shit, Andy. I should be coaching. I guess maybe I should fill in one of these NBA, open coaching slots when we get to it at the end of the year by saying things like this, but kind of have to have a hotter start than that. 23-35 heading into the second isn't going to get it done. So I would assume they make some defensive adjustments. Denver went on to score 32 in each quarter after that. You're going to have to probably crank up the defense a little if you want to keep it close. You're not going to give up 131 and win games against the Nugs here. So I don't know when they play next. Probably Thursday in LA. The Clippers are 7-point favorites. 212. So this game went over 209. In regulation, did not go to overtime. We had 246. So it went over the total by 36 points, and we saw a 3-point adjustment, 2.5-point adjustment up on the total. I almost wonder if that's still an under because of, I'll have to text Drew after this. Like, do they make just some nasty defensive adjustments to try to limit what Denver did in that game and hope their offense has enough to force a game 7? I think game 7 would be TBD in Denver. Oh, tired legs at altitude. I don't know how much opium I can give you, man. That's a tough hang. Going back to a game 7 kind of screws your playoffs up too. If you got to play a full series against Denver, do a game 7 against Denver in Denver, doesn't have me hopeful that you can get the next one done because it gets tougher from here. I don't have my prices built out for next series yet because I don't keep NBA numbers. I will be doing something later this week that should be fun, and I don't know that I'll have enough completed to talk about it this week, but I have all my notes from free agency, and now we have the draft, and I'm going to update my power numbers and for the NFL. And I'm going to do it lightly because a lot of these draft picks, how many guys that were drafted actually matter enough to adjust even a positional group up. A few at the top, a few of these offensive players, it's hard to tell what you're going to get with Cam Ward. You never know what you're getting with a quarterback. But there are some teams that added enough in free agency plus the draft, I think, at certain position groups to get some bumps. I mean, even just like Minnesota and Chicago. Like, if you're not upgrading their offensive lines, I don't know what you're doing. So just by virtue of upgrading a few positional groups here and there, teams are going to move around a little. So I don't know that we'll go through all 32. That sounds pretty boring, but maybe we'll touch on some of the ones that I think actually have some chances to make some big differences in some positional group rankings and change their fortune this year, because I think honestly those are maybe two of the ones that changed the most for me is Chicago and Minnesota, as far as getting rid of some weaknesses that they had up front in the middle. Probably, what do you do with the Pittsburgh number right now? That's the tough part about doing things here too while we're still waiting. Like, my Pittsburgh power rating is going to be lower than last year. And, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to get married to that number because a lot of things can happen at the most important position. But for now, Pittsburgh's quarterback situation is worse. And I don't remember the exact percentages we gave to each group when we weighted them, but quarterback was high. So that's going to be a rough one to look at right off the bat. So hopefully I have something done by Friday. If not, we'll have some stuff to talk about Monday. I know Drew's going to be real busy with horse shit this week. Not literal horse, you know what I mean, but doing horse stuff. But I might talk him into trying to update some of his stuff early too, so we can talk about it. Other than that, I don't know if I'm going to bet today. I golf, yeah, for sure, but I don't know if I'm going to have a hockey or basketball bets. What do we got tonight? It was Wednesday. Oh, yeah. Maybe the Lakers or Minnesota +6 if the situation's right. Maybe Lakers team total over if I'm feeling like a bit of a fatalist. Nothing in the other game. So I wish you luck, Giorgio, in your Inter Milan bet. I wish anyone else luck if they're betting some soccer, hockey, basketball, cricket, tennis. I haven't paid much attention after the power outage, so no tennis bets for me. I'll probably leave that alone. Go follow Big Ten Watto. He has a bunch for you. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Like I said, in the afternoon with Mike. Bring your questions. That would be greatly appreciated. I think the best conversations we have with him are based off not only yours, but Drew's and I's questions as well. So bring some horse questions, and then Mike will bring the heat.